Hi, I'm Hillsborough County Commissioner Sandy Merman. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you how important it is to take time to prepare and make a plan for hurricane season.
I'm Tim Dudley, your emergency manager. We've learned many valuable lessons over the years and want everyone to be as prepared as possible this storm season.
In these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to have a plan and be prepared. COVID-19 has shown us that coming together as a community and being resilient is key.
Our team is working hard to keep Hillsborough County ready for any disaster and to provide our residents with resources in case of a hurricane.
To make sure you're ready this year, the first thing you need to do is to sign up for HCFL Alert. You'll receive current emergency information by phone or email.
Next, make a plan with your loved ones. Knowing your evacuation zone and evacuation route is crucial. If you have to evacuate, consider reaching out to friends and families that live outside the evacuation zone to see if they can host you.
If staying with friends or family isn't an option, you can always consider hotels or motels outside of the evacuation zones.
That's right, Hillsborough County emergency shelters are lifeboats, not cruise ships. They should be considered a last resort to keep your family safe.
If Hillsborough County emergency shelters are your only option to evacuate, come prepared. You'll need some additional items this year, including face masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, and other personal items.
At Hillsborough County emergency shelters, you should be prepared to practice social distancing and come with your emergency kit and the items your family needs. Remember, shelters are not a resort, they're last resort. They won't offer any amenities and resources may be limited.
During storm season, you should also keep your gas tank full and keep your emergency kit close at hand.
Make sure to check supplies in that kit, including medication, radio, flashlights, and batteries.
And as we mentioned, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, please include face masks or coverings, hand sanitizers, and gloves.
I want to echo what Commissioner Merman just said. These additions are essential for your health and that of others, especially if you need to go to a county shelter.
In addition, do not forget to pre-register loved ones who require special needs accommodations. Hillsborough has programs in place to help those individuals prepare and find safe shelter.
And don't forget about our furry friends. You'll need food, a pet carrier, proof of current vaccination, and your animal's county registration tag.
Have a plan, know your plan. For more information, please visit hcflgov.net/stay safe. Thank you.
This is a battle we've never faced in my lifetime. I want to tell you about 416 of the most amazing people. Every day I get to see their skill, professionalism, and dedication. Their commitment to protect and improve the health of everyone in Hillsborough County. The last 2 months, they've been on the front line of a battle with a very dangerous enemy, COVID-19. And they've risen to the challenge in the most amazing, heroic way. Everyone has contributed, sacrificing their personal life, which they put on hold. They're making a difference for everyone they help, and every day I get stopped and told just how amazing they are. I'm proud and blessed to work with them, my second family.
Hillsborough County, along with local and federal health experts, are encouraging residents to wear cloth face masks to cover their nose and mouth when in
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emery Alford. I'm the chair of the Board of Directors for the Arts Council of Hillsborough County. Today's date is August 25th. It's now 12:02 p.m., and I'd like to call the meeting to order. Martine, will you do a roll call, please?
Yes, roll call. Emery Alford.
Here.
Paul Berg.
Here.
Theron Butler.
Here.
Clay Hollenkamp.
Here.
Lindsay Kimball.
Here.
Julian McKenzie.
Yeah.
Robin Nye. Okay. Megan Parsons.
Here.
Dontavius Pittman. Dontavius?
Here, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Andrew Richardson.
Here.
CJ Roberts.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Sandra Schroka.
Here.
Annalisa Taylor.
Here.
Bob Terry. Bob, I see you. Bob. Okay,
I'll affirm Bob is here.
okay. Georgia Bayhue.
Here.
Okay. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And I see that Julian has moved to the beach, so that's okay.
Well, wishful thinking on my
I'm
part.
sorry I complained about your artwork, but I like the beach scene, so, okay. So moving ahead, we have a quorum. Martine, I assume we have a quorum?
Yes, we have a quorum.
Okay. So moving on for public comment opportunity, does anyone from the public wish to speak?
I have received no email requests from the public wishing to speak as of right now, 12:05.
Okay. Hearing no requests, then we'll move on to the consent agenda, which is the minutes of the July 22nd meeting and the July financials. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about the consent agenda?
I move that we accept it.
Motion's made to to approve,
I'll second.
and motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Okay, moving on to, is there a question? Okay, moving on to the chair's report. I was able to watch the August 5th Board of County Commissioners meeting. Just happened to get in almost exactly at the right time, and the discussion began by Commissioner Smith to proceed or to consider requesting permission to move forward and have the county attorney's office draft an ordinance. I was quite pleased with the comments and the feedback. And in fact, at least 2 or 3 of the board members spoke very strongly in support of this, and all questioning why we hadn't done it earlier, but I guess it had never been on anybody's radar. Commissioner Smith, do you have anything you'd like to say? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, just looking for my mute button. Thank you. And, I did want to just highlight what a great team effort this has been. And thanks very much for the letters from you, Emery, and from Martine that went in the commissioner's backup packet for this item so they could see the broad range of support and some of the reasons why, and also to thank Ms. Diggs, Charlotte Diggs in the county attorney's office for helping to put together the item so that it read like it should, and we accurately explained it to the commissioner, and thanks to the staff in the county's economic development department and everybody on this arts council having really work through this issue so we could bring it forward, you know, confidently in a way that everybody could see that it was the right thing to do and a good thing to do. And then, as you say, we had really broad, diverse support from the commissioners, which was really, really good that they signaled that they're enthusiastic about this, and we got a unanimous vote for this first step. So with commissioners from both sides of the aisle voicing strong support, so we can expect this to succeed. And our next step is, and I just talked with the county attorney's office this morning, maybe unless Ms. Diggs wants to inform us more about it, but I understand that they are working for this to bring forward the ordinance, hopefully at our September 16 board meeting, where we would then, the board would then set the hearing date, and the final hearing would be October 7. I think we're on schedule to move it through there. But hopefully we will continue with that support. It looks like it's smooth sailing from here on out. So thanks to everybody for working so hard on it.
Very good. Very good. Charlotte, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Oh, no, I think Commissioner Smith covered it. Thank you, Commissioner.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Emery, I have a question, if I may.
Yes, sir. Julian.
If I understood Commissioner Smith correctly, it would be going to the September 16th Board of County Commissioners meeting, and correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned October 7th. Now, this may be a detail, but what happens in that week between October 1st and October 7th when it gets ratified to the council? How would the commission stroke council operate in that period of time?
You want me to take that, Emery?
Yes, please. Yes.
So what happens is, because this is an ordinance, a county ordinance, there's this whole procedure of, first of all, we have to, the board has to direct staff to draft the ordinance. Then the staff comes back with the ordinance at a noticed county meeting. So that's what we're shooting for, September 16th. So that's, but the county attorneys working with the economic department, working with Martine to make sure we have it fully fleshed out, the text of the new ordinance. And then we can't just adopt it in one meeting. The process is we have to, publicly air that ordinance and set a public hearing. And then from that point, we have to, there's time it takes to notice the public hearing. And you have a public hearing anytime you make an ordinance or amend any of our county ordinances. So that's what's happening there.
Okay. And I would assume, Charlotte, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Julian, the ordinance that we are operating under would continue until such date as a new ordinance is approved. So nothing changes until it's approved. And then at that point, we, I guess, see what the ordinance says and move forward from there.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay, very good. Any other questions or comments about that process? The letters are that Martine and I wrote are in your packet under attachment C. Okay, so then moving on, next step, item of business, terms are ending for several of our board members next month, end of September. And so CJ, I'll call on you for recommendations from the governance committee.
Sure. Governance committee met on August the 11th. We spent a lot of time on that matrix that was part of your packet, just making sure that we continue to work toward diversifying the board. And for us, that's racial diversity, ethnic, gender, physical abilities, geography, and skill sets. We had 10 candidates for 5 positions, and we're pleased to recommend for a second term Theron Butler, Dontavius Pittman, and Georgia Vahue. And as new board members, Dee Hood, who's been very involved in the arts and is retired faculty from the Ringling College of Art and Design. And Tyler Oldley, I hope I'm saying his last name correctly. Again, very involved with the arts, currently at USF is as a fiscal and business specialist, which is always welcome skill sets. And so those are our recommendations.
Okay. Any questions or comments? CJ, would you like to make that a motion?
I motion that that we and we're recommending to the BOCC because they'll be making the final decision. So I motion that we recommend to the Board of County Commissioners Theron Butler, Dontavius Pittman, Georgia Vahue to serve a second term, and Dee Hood and Tyler Oldley as new board members.
This is Clay. I'll second that.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
I was one of the people. Somebody else also did.
Okay.
Sandra can second them.
Okay, so my question is, I don't know where Charlotte is it appropriate for board members to vote for themselves? I think she left.
No, I'm here. Sorry about that. You're asking if it is appropriate for, no, I'm sorry. A board member cannot enter a vote for themselves. That's correct.
Right, so I think the 3 board members need to abstain. Okay, so with that, we have a motion made by CJ and seconded by Ms. Saraka to approve the slate of 5 new board members. All in favor, say aye.
Just one more thing. Who is our backup? There was a backup?
We do have a backup. The backup is Nor Payne. So
okay, thank you.
Nor Payne will be the alternate in the event that either Dee or Tyler can't serve, won't serve.
All right, thank you.
All right, Martine, you're off. Your microphone's off. Martine, you're still muted. There you go.
We were concerned about their voter registration because that has to be cleared by the Board of County Commission. But we have heard back from Luann Finley, and they all are original candidates, so we don't need an alternate for that purpose.
Very good, very good. And for some of you who might remember when we've had some resignations in midterm and we did have an alternate that had already been pre-screened, that was an opportunity to go back rather than completely re-advertising. But of course, should that happen again, that's up to the next board to decide how they'd like to proceed. So we do have a motion and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain. This is Aaron.
I abstain.
I abstain.
Okay, so the 3 board members that are on the slate, CJ, Dante, and Theron, have abstained. Thank you very much. Okay, so the motion carries. That would be the names that will be forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners for their consideration, and their term, once approved, should begin October the 1st or shortly thereafter. Okay. Moving on, next is a governance report. No, I guess we've done that, right? No, wait. Oh, this is the committee recommendations. No, we've already done that, right?
Right.
Oh, the thing I skipped over then is the succession of board officers. So, CJ, do you want to say anything about that?
To serve and look forward to working with you all in this capacity if that's the choice you make. I guess we vote on this, in which case I would abstain.
Right. So for everyone's information, if you were, I did go back and look at the bylaws, and of course, depending on what happens with the ordinance, then our bylaws will probably need to be readdressed and potentially modified. As the current bylaws and ordinance state, we're only required to elect one member, one officer, which is the chair of the board. It's then at the board's discretion to determine what other officers might be appointed or elected, to include a vice chair, which makes sense to me that in the event that the chair is not available, the vice chair can step in. And then we've had a long history of having a secretary or treasurer / position. I think it's up to the board to decide going forward whether we need that position or not. But I think for now, let's just vote on a chair, vice chair. And then in October, or when we have a new ordinance, then we can decide, you can decide how you wish to proceed. Or if there's some other new position you want to create. Okay, any questions? Then we need to vote on, I need someone besides CJ to make a motion to approve the board officers effective October the 1st.
So moved.
Julian?
Clay can second.
Clay is second. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? I think we need 2 abstentions.
Yeah. This is Paul, I abstain.
This is CJ, I abstain.
Okay, so for the record, motion passes. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on, item 7, Martine, Executive Director Report. You're muted. There you go.
Okay. So we had on Wednesday, August 19th, we had our first ever virtual panel meeting. We did cultural development grants in the morning. We broke for lunch, and then we did community arts development grants in the afternoon. It went extremely well, and we've already gotten results back from our survey that we did that the attendees, the applicants that attended this meeting loved doing it virtual. They say don't ever go back to the old way. So we've gotten a really good, it was very efficient. We used the time well. It was an excellent, it was a larger panel because we were doing more grants. So we had a total of 8 panelists, which typically our panels have been more around 4 or 5, but it worked out well. I put something in your packet that was posted on Facebook by one of our panelists that I thought was very nice the next day. And then also in your packet are the recommendations for both cultural development and community arts impact. Now, this was a record-setting year in that we only had one organization that scored below the minimum in either category, which was the Philippine Cultural Foundation. But everyone else was approved for funding and scored high. And so you can see all the scores there. And so we have the funding amounts, the way we come to this, I thought you might be curious, is we have our county contract gives us $385,000 for organizational grants. So basically 83,000 went to the community arts impact grants. That's 58.7 for nonprofits, 25,000 for colleges and universities, which left a remainder of $301,300 for cultural development. That is the figure we put in the funding formula, and the funding formula takes that number and the scores very much the way the state funding formula does it, and gives us the actual amount. it is a much smaller grant amount, and also it's a sliding scale on matching funds too. The first year you apply, you don't have to match anything, but second, third, fourth, till eventually you're doing 100% match. So that was the emphasis the year that started, and that's when we can only fund 20% of that funding can go to organizations that have budgets over 400,000. So this is the way both of those things work together. By doing the funding for community arts impact first, we meet that criteria for splitting the money as well.
Gotcha. Thanks so much for the explanation.
And if I'm not mistaken, Martinez, I remember to Clay's point that direction was given to us by the Board of County Commissioners.
Correct.
Right.
And actually that change came about because of our 2017 strategic plan. We put so much emphasis into cultural equity in that plan. We were very impressed the following year that the county wanted to build that into our contract. So it kind of gave us some authority to do what we had wanted to do with the strategic plan anyway. So.
Right. So see, Clay, to us, it's not our decision as to how that's allocated. We're just executing the wishes of the Board of County Commissioners.
Got it. Well, thanks for the explanation. I was just curious.
Sure. Okay.
I did have a question.
Yes, Julian.
The total amount awarded is for 2021, correct?
Excuse me?
The awards are for the next financial fiscal year.
The amount for organizational grants is $385,000, and for artist grants, $300,000. So our total contract is $415,000 for grants.
Yeah, but it's to impact the next financial year.
Yes.
So, yes. My question is, with the ordinance coming into play, the new ordinance that's coming in, should the amount not be higher? Because we should have an extra 150,000.
I don't think we can determine that yet. I mean, until the ordinance is approved, we don't have additional funds.
Fair point, but
Right. I suppose it could be addressed by the new board, or perhaps, there might be other opportunities for how to allocate the potential cost savings that we're hoping are out there.
Yeah, but you see my point.
Yes, right. But I don't think we can make an allocation at this time based on an ordinance that hasn't even been drafted or approved.
Agreed. But I mean, the point I was trying to make is that we know that there should be an extra sum pool of money that should be available to support efforts within the community October 7th or thereafter.
Right. And that'll be the opportunity for the new board. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we need to vote on those funding recommendations to make it official.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Julian.
I'll second.
Second, who was that, Clay?
Theron.
Theron? Okay, thank you, Theron.
You're welcome.
So the motion has been made to approve the funding recommendations for the cultural development and community arts impact grants. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Oppose? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, thank you very much. Martine, anything else?
Well, just as I was putting the board packet together to send you all on Friday, I saw that the Tampa Business Journal came across my desk. So I put this nice article that Carla Hartley wrote from Stageworks because I thought it was great that the Arts Council's economic impact was in the lead into this story in the very first paragraph. I think it's another case. We saw the Tampa Bay Times article last month in your packet that we're being referenced that we are a source for information, which is one of the things we've been trying to build our reputation at. So it was, I thought it was interesting, so I decided to send it in the packet.
Thank you. And again, it continues to amaze me. You know, we as artists, musicians, singers, dancers, painters, whatever, all know the value of the arts. And I mean, there's been so many research studies and reports about how students that are involved in the arts and education seem to fare better than others. And though I wasn't good in science, somehow I developed a creative sense and I can improvise. So I enjoyed the article. Thank you so much for that, Eileen and Martine. So we're on to other business. Georgia, do you have anything?
Yes, the only thing would be for the Public Art Committee is that we are reviewing and the candidates for the public art. We have one architect position to fill and then one more community member. And we will be meeting actually this Thursday to vote on those to be presented to the Board of County Commissioners.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else have any other business? I don't see Robin. Okay, well, before I close, we got so excited about voting for the new chair and board chair, I forgot to congratulate them. So congratulations, CJ and Paul. I know you'll do a great job. And that will be effective beginning October the 1st.
Well, thank you. You're going to be a hard act to follow.
Well, it's fun for sure, in a different sort of way. But thank you so much. Any other comments or questions? Good news? Anything?
Yes, I want to thank you, Emery, for leading us through this past year. And you've done a fabulous job. You've been there for us when we've had questions. You've been to all these extra meetings and just above and beyond. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. The nice thing about being retired is sometimes I told my neighbor yesterday something I was doing, and he looked at me and he said, "You've got too much time on your hands." So that's a good thing. But I got an email yesterday from some of my colleagues in academia saying, you know, we're thinking of you today on opening day. And I said, well, that's a nice thought, but I'm sure glad I'm not having to make those decisions about whether classes run or not. So, but thank you so much. And I will hopefully keep chairing the meeting next month, and we'll have, hopefully we keep getting these meetings shorter, but that's a good thing, I guess. So hearing no other comments, then I will adjourn the meeting at 12:33 and wish you all a great day and rest of the week. Watch out for the hurricanes.
Bye, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Thank you, James. Boy, they go away fast.